Hi, everyone. So, who is autistic this week? You might be asking. I know you're not, but I'll tell you. I think Michael Bublé is autistic. I think he's one of us. Um, I'm back to watching The Voice because there's a new season, and people are my special interest. And some of the things that he says, like how he acts, there's no way that dude's not autistic. It's just in case anybody didn't know. Michael Bublé, I'm pretty sure is one of us. And also Rachel Bloom. If you don't know her, go check her out. Unless you don't like raunchy comedy, then like maybe don't. But if you listen to this podcast, maybe you might. I don't know. Um, she just had a Netflix special and it's like a musical. And like I fucking hate musicals. The only ones I watched that I liked were Sweeney Todd. Um, remember that Marvelous Mrs. Maisel show? The shorter lady? Oh, I forgot her name. I'm so bad with names, but like she's a comedian and like on Amazon Prime, she did a special and it was like a comedy musical. I remember that shit was hilarious. And that's kind of what like this one was with Rachel Bloom. She did like a musical comedy kind of thing. Um, and it was cool too because she did it about death, but she delivered it in a way where like, I don't know, it's cool. It wasn't just showing up for laughs. It was like learning how to deal with stuff too. So I thought that was pretty smart. But yeah, I am pretty sure she's autistic. Um, if anybody used to watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, that's the show that she was on, and I remember when I started watching it, I was like, "This is a weird ass fucking show," but I couldn't stop watching. And then about halfway through the series, because I think there was like 4 or 5 years they did, halfway through, her character revealed that she was like diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And at the time, I think was 2 years into my own BPD diagnosis. That was the first time I had heard anybody in person or on TV, anybody, say that they were diagnosed with BPD. And because, anybody who's familiar with borderline personality disorder, there's such a stigma. And I'm not even going to act like I didn't buy into that like years and years ago. Like, because people don't want to meet with patients who are or patients, clients, whatever, who are diagnosed with BPD because they think they're quote crazy, that they're too much or something, that their feelings are so much. And like I remember thinking like I don't know how to help. Like I don't know what I can do. Anyways, that's like a whole episode. We used to get a lot of people with BPD when I was working as an addictions counselor. And once I got diagnosed with BPD, wouldn't you believe it? I suddenly figured out how to start like meeting with clients who had BPD and like providing like decent. Anyways, I don't think BPD is real. I think that's really just autism and that it was just pathologized into something called borderline personality disorder. But what do I know? I'm not a therapist. But anyways, I that's where I became a big fan of hers. I was like, oh, finally, somebody else who says that they have BPD and is just out loud and proud of it about it on a TV show. But anyways, I probably didn't need to say all of that. I would just recommend, like, if you need a laugh, go check out that Netflix special. It's pretty funny. Um, I am still not good at socializing. It's one thing to not know how to do it very well with adults. It's a bit more embarrassing when you don't know how to do it with children. And I don't know how to tell a 15-year-old no, apparently. Um, Last Friday, Alicia got out of work, scooped me up. We went down for a last minute visit to go see her family who lives like an hour away. And I don't like last minute things, but I knew if I didn't go down with Alicia, one of those kids was going to have to fucking come up here and do a sleepover sooner than I wanted to. And I don't want any of them to come over for as long as possible. Like I told Alicia, I need 2 weeks notice. And I'm just kind of hoping that like she forgets for about a year, like she did the last couple of times. So that's why I went last minute. I was like, let me just go visit because they've been wanting us to. And then maybe she'll forget about like the sleepover. But anyways, so I asked Alicia for a specific time of when we can leave. The last time we went down there, I brought like a sensory bag kind of stuff, and I did an episode about it, about how freeing it felt to just like be myself and bring like my fidget spinner and like the other shit that like I used to be embarrassed to carry with me. I don't remember if I asked her if we could leave at a specific time last time, but this time I did. And she gave me the time, and she didn't judge me. She wasn't rude about it. I really appreciated that. However, I did tell her I needed some incentives because we were going to be down there for like 3 hours. Um, and she's like, you need incentives to visit my family. And like, when you say it like that don't sound good. But incentives to me are just things to keep me going, to keep me there, to keep me in a good mood so that I don't start going into meltdown mode. Like, this is some bullshit. But if I have a time, I can work toward it. Like, okay, I got this much time left. Okay. And I know that when the time is coming, then we definitely get to leave. And so there's an out. And I don't have to sit there and wonder, when do I get to leave? You know what I mean? It just makes a difference. So, anyways, Bella is my 15-year-old niece. And I told her that Alicia and I are building an orange army, like an orange cat army. All orange, all boys. And they live, like, her family lives on a farm, so there's a bunch of barn cats, but these are like fucked up barn cats. Like, they're not all there. Like, I'm talking about body parts, like cat body parts. Um, like, I don't know what happens. But anyways, so Bella, so like we said, we have an orange one that you guys can have. His name is Vince. Not like I was gonna keep that name, but went to go see this kitten. He was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months old. He was in this big cage with like a bunch of other babies. They said that when they got a little bit older, they were going to let him out. I don't know. So, anyways, it turns out this cat was traumatized. Um, and I just knew that there's no way that the cat was going to fit into our current cat family. And I felt bad for thinking that way because, like, if things were different, I would have like maybe have wanted the cat, but like we just got Phil and he just like it's a perfect fit right now. And like this Vince cat, I couldn't even hold him for like 5 seconds before he scratched the shit out of me and then jumped off of me. Um, but anyways, Bella was like, he's really nice, like, he really is, and blah blah blah. And she's trying to sell me this cat. And I realized I can't say no to a 15-year-old. Like I can't tell her no. And, it's because I didn't wanna be the person to disappoint her. Like, it's not fun disappointing somebody. It's definitely not fun being disappointed, but you don't wanna be the disappointer. At least I don't. So, I concocted this plan on the spot, and I'm like, "You know what?" And I said, "Bella, Alicia's got the last say, like, she wears the pants in this marriage. She just does." Um Everybody knows this is true, even Bella. And I was like, so she has the last say. So, like, it doesn't matter what I want. Like, I really want him. I did not, but I didn't tell her that. I was like, but we have to go ask her because, like, if she says yes, then we could definitely have him. So we walked back from the barn over to, like, Alicia's mother's house where all the fucking children are out front. There's a new one. A new one came by this year. Some new kid. I don't even remember the baby's name. Um, There's so many kids. And we go up to Alicia, and I stand behind Bella on purpose. And I said, Alicia, Bella has something that she wants to ask you. And because I told Bella she would have to ask. This is ridiculous. I can't believe I'm talking about this. This is embarrassing. This kid's 15 years old. This bitch has not even been alive for like 2 decades, and I can't say no to her. So she asked, and then I echoed her. I was like, please. And I was shaking my head back and forth as I said that behind Bella's back. So Alicia knew. And she just said no, offered a simple explanation, and made it look so easy. And like Bella was like, oh, come on. And then Alicia, after like another minute, the whole thing was done. And nobody's feelings were hurt. But, like, I was telling Alicia later after that, I said, "Thank you for being the bad guy, like, I didn't wanna say no, and she's like, "Well, you didn't have to sit there and be like, 'Please, please,' when you knew you didn't want the cat," and I'm like, "Yeah, I did, because there's no way I was gonna let Bella figure out that, like, I was trying to pull one over on her, because those kids are smart." So, I had my wife tell her 15-year-old niece, "No, we cannot have that cat." Oh, but you know what? Thank goodness I don't have human babies. Like, oh my God, can you imagine? My kids would be so fucked up right now. I know it. I'm gonna move right along. So anyways, that was that. That visit was not fun for me, but the kids seemed to like it, and I was in a good mood, and I did not go into meltdown land, and I made it through, and that's that. So then the next day, I go to take the last air conditioner out of the window because we have three, and the house is small. So it heats up the whole house, or not heats up, it cools down the whole house like really, really good. Just those three tiny little air conditioners. It's crazy. And I've been so proud of myself because Alicia used to be the one to put them in and take them out. And I've had to become that person ever since she had started grad school, and like just simple shit she did before she couldn't because how busy she was. My talking is just, I had an appointment today. That's why I sound like this. Um that I'm gonna get to that. Anyways, and so I took the AC out. I was so proud of myself. I'm like, look at me. I did because that shit's hard for me. Air conditioners are heavy. And so I put it under the bed for temporarily because the basement needed some cleaning up, and I didn't feel like taking that down there. And if anybody's seen the back of an AC, it's just like a metal grate. It's just this metal grate, and their grooves are so like close together. I basically pushed it to go under the bed, and I scraped my hand down the grate, and it sliced into my hand. And I felt the pain. I saw the blood, and then I started feeling pretty woozy. Um, so that was not a good time. And like my day was going pretty good, but like that one minor injury, just I was done for the rest of the day. Alicia had to like bandage me up. Like it's just like the world stops when I get cut. It's embarrassing. So like that was that day. And then the day after that, I don't know what day we're on now, but today is Wednesday. Alicia had gone to the grocery store and she brought some stuff home. And she's like, I'm going to make dinner for us. Now, we had already had a few meals together over the last week. And if you've listened to prior episodes, you know what my eating habits are like. I don't eat meals like this anymore. Like, I mean, I do, but not like on a regular basis. So this is like the third night in a row that she's making dinner and just assuming that I'm going to eat with her. And I said, okay, but do not get used to this. And she's like, "Get used to what? Having dinner with my wife?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, you have to say it like that? Because that makes me sound like a dick." But yeah, don't get used to having dinner with me, bitch. Because I don't like to eat full meals like that. I don't like to stop what I'm doing to sit down to a fucking meal. Like, no. Anyways, so there was that. I don't know why I said that. Maybe I'm hoping that somebody else out there has said this to their spouse. And then, where am I at with time? Oh, God. Okay, so this is the last thing before before I talk about what I got on here for. So, like, over the past however many episodes, I would brag about how like I'm a lazy cat owner and I don't give up. Like, we don't feed our cats soft food because that's why there's hard food. They can just eat when they're hungry, and we don't have to stop what we're doing. I am so lazy. I'm there for the cuddles, but like the soft food, I had to eat my words. Like now I am that cat mom that has to feed their kids like a few times a day, the soft food, because Xena, she was the one that went to the animal hospital a few weeks ago, and she has to have like soft food has to be primarily like her food. Um, I don't know what it's like better for her bladder. Like I don't know how that all that works, but she needs to have soft food pretty much like way more than the hard food. And so like since the other cats have been trained that soft food is a treat, they just kept thinking that she was getting all these treats that they weren't. And I don't like being unfair. So all of them get fed now. They just all do. They all get fed. All four of them come out. Like I am lazy. Do you know, this is like a 15-minute affair because it's not just like opening some stuff and putting it in a bowl. like Xena has to have like extra liquid in hers because she needs more like water. And then like the baby has to have the kitten kibble mixed with his. It's like a whole thing. Then you have to sit down and make sure that like he doesn't go try to eat out of the other cat's bowls because it's like that's the only way you know how to teach them manners. So I have to just kind of hover, like I sit next to them, and then I just kind of gently pull him back to his own bowl when he strays. Oh my God, 15 minutes. What did I talk about? So, anyways, can anybody? Oh, and by the way, um, do you know the milestones for cats are way better than like milestones for babies? Like, in my opinion, like, have I talked about this before? So, Phil, he's like a fucking dog. This cat chases toys. Like, I got this one toy, and I just, like with a dog, how you put it behind your back and then you make it go in front of you, and then you put it behind your back, and then the dog goes round and round and round and round and round. And I always used to laugh at how dumb dogs were. I'm like, you really are chasing that toy like that? You really think you can only go in one direction? That's the only way you're going to get it? And then Phil starts doing it, and I'm like, dude, you're like a fucking dog. And then you go to like pull on a toy that he's got in his mouth, and with all of his might, he just starts pulling back, like trying to rip that toy out of your hand like a dog would. Ain't that cool? And anyways, milestones. So like I got to witness his first spit. It was so cute. He was like, did you hear that? I don't know if you did. It was so cute. And then the first time that he had non-cat food, he had some like chicken. Um, First time he sounded like an adult when he meowed and it was more than like a little squeak. There's lots of firsts with kittens, and I find them very joyful. I can't imagine feeling this happy if it was a human baby. No offense to anybody out there. So I got in here today pretty much to talk about, I went to the VA today, which is the uh for military veterans hospital, in case anybody doesn't know. Now, I haven't been to like a primary doctor since before the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit, and then I just didn't go to the hospital. And that's why I ended up having a 17-pound cyst grow inside me and not know until like I had to go to the ER. And there's episodes on that if you wanted to go check them out. I don't recommend it. Um, so this is the first time I saw a primary doctor. Now this I'm trying to just condense this because I don't want this to turn into like a 45-minute episode, but basically, the women's clinic is where I have to go to. I know I could probably request to not go to that and go to see another doctor that's not in the women's clinic, but I don't like to make waves. So I just do what I'm told. But anyways, I don't like female doctors. I just don't. They talk too much. And if this sounds like generalizing, well, I'm sorry, but like every female doctor I have had up until today just talks, talks, talks. And every man doctor, and when I say man and woman, I just mean like outwardly, like they look like, I don't know, because like, not everybody identifies as like female or male, but like I don't know what else to describe right now. I don't know. That sounds dumb. So sorry. But anyways, um, men just do what they need to do. Like you're in there, they do what they have to do, and then you leave. They're not sitting there trying to like find out like what are your life goals. And this primary doctor that I've had at the VA for like several years, number one, this is not her fault, but like I had a hard time understanding her just because she had an accent. And I'm very good with accents. Um, most of them. But I'm not good at all of them. I had a hard time understanding her, and then like when I would go see her, I'd have questions about some physical health things, but then she would give me like a quick answer and then start talking about shit that had nothing to do with why I was there. And it's not like she was incompetent. Like she did what she needed to do. I didn't think she was a wackadoodle. I just think that like your bedside manner blows, lady. Like, can you just not talk to me? Don't talk to me about personal things. Don't like we could cut this appointment time and like we can cut it down in half if you just stop fucking talking. And so she went away working somewhere else. And so I've known that there's been this new doctor assigned to me for like a couple of years now, I think. And I finally had to meet her today. And I was bitching to Alicia because, like, Alicia came with me to the appointment, which I appreciated. But I was like, I fucking hate meeting with women doctors. Not to mention, why is the VA shoving all the women upstairs, the very top floor? Like, you're hiding us all away? Like, what is that all about? I don't know. And I'm just not having a good time. And then I'm sitting there, and the nurse comes in. I've never seen this one before. She was really, really nice. This is the friendliest nurse I've ever met. And then the doctor comes in, and turns out she's just a regular old white lady like me. So I had no problem understanding her. And this is the first female doctor that I have ever wanted to stay with. Like, I stayed with the other doctor because I guess that's what I had. I don't know, like, military I'm still trying to get rid of this brainwashing. Military really brainwashes you. If sorry if anybody's in the military and offended by that or was and is offended. It's just my opinion. Um, anyways, I don't know what I was just saying, but this lady 1,000% is autistic. 1,000% autistic. I had even mentioned that I'm autistic and she didn't bite, so she doesn't know about hers. Doesn't that suck? I'm so close to it. I just wanted to be like, lady, I smell your autism. Like, I see it. Like, you're autistic, but like, that's not my place. That's inappropriate. So I kept my mouth quiet. But I know that that is probably why I want to keep meeting with her is because like she is finally the doctor that I've always wanted. She did not talk about anything dumb. She had a good she's a very nice lady, very friendly, professional, listened to me because I told her, like, I'm pretty sure I have POTS. And then, but when you go into a doctor and you say that, sometimes they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not a doctor, or whatever. She didn't act that way. Now, my other doctor would have. My other doctor would have probably asked one or two questions and then moved on to something different. But like this one actually like asked more in-depth questions. And we were talking about it for at least like 10 minutes. And I was like, this is crazy that this lady is actually like listening to me, like describe how I think I might have POTS. And I told her that I've been prescribed anti-nausea meds by the lady doctor. And I explained why. And she started prescribing them to me too. She's like, I'll write you up a script so you can get them here too. And I'm like, oh my God, this sounds fucking great. Like, it was a good visit. We were there for an hour. I didn't really care about that part. I also didn't care about getting like the COVID vaccine and the flu vaccine and then tetanus at the same time, but whatever. So there's that. I just wanted to say that I'm very happy that I have a doctor that listens to me, that is very clearly autistic, but doesn't realize it, and that's sad. But, like, she's just like, a normal person and is just nice like, I don't know, I could go on and on about this lady. Do you guys know how it feels when you find somebody that, like, checks those boxes that you've been trying to fucking check for years, and you just then come to the conclusion that there's nobody that exists in the medical field that can fucking just do simple shit. Just do your basic shit that you're supposed to do. Don't make it complicated. I'm talking too much about this. Um, I wanted to share that because that's a big deal for me to have like a female doctor. And it's just I don't know how else to explain it. I'm not traumatized by women. I don't hate women because of my mother or anything like that. I simply don't like meeting with like female medical professionals because of my experiences only. That is the only reason. I'm trying to get in and out and not talk about stuff I don't have to talk about. And men are really good at that. Turns out autistic female doctors are really good at it too. So, but I'm just going to go ahead and admit that the only reason I went to the doctors today was because Alicia made me. My wife made me. I tried to get out of it. She's not feeling too great because she just got her flu shot, like, I don't know, last week sometime. So she's feeling some of the effects from that, not feeling too great. And I'm like, oh, you stayed home from work today. I was like, oh, good. That means that, like, you're too sick to take me. And I'm not going by myself because apparently I don't have to anymore. Like, I'm a child. This is like, I just revert to like I don't know. And I told the doctor the only reason I'm getting these shots is because Alicia's making me. Like, she's not sitting there putting a gun to my head or anything like that. She's not gonna like, you have to do this. But like, do you know, I feel like in most marriages, there's gotta be like that spouse that is responsible and like they make sure you get the stuff done that you need to get done. And then there's the other spouse that like just tries to hide when it comes to that. Like, and it's a weird dynamic because it's like a parent-child dynamic, and it's not that at all. I get that. But um I learned from Alicia many years ago that like she was the one that told me that like what you did not have growing up as far as like your needs being met and stuff like that, like from your caregivers. She said that like if you didn't get certain needs met as a child, you unconsciously seek out those qualities in other people and kind of like get them met as an adult in different ways, if that makes sense. And it's like I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. Like, it's not confusing to me. It's just like it's weird to me to be married to somebody and then like to have stuff pop up in my head that like I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Like, I feel like I'm a kid and like I'm 12 years old and I'm telling my mom, I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to go to the doctor. And she's like, you have to, and blah, blah, blah. And like, I do that shit with Alicia. And the difference is my mom was a fucking bitch. She was a bitch. She was mean to me. Like, she did not teach me how to deal with emotions because she didn't know how to deal with her own. And I I never really felt safe with her. Um, I didn't like it when she was with me at these appointments. Like, it was terrible. She was not a nice person. And Alicia, like, it's weird because, like, I go to these appointments as an adult, and I bring my wife with me. And my wife is not like that at all. Like, she makes sure I'm okay. Um, she's right there for me if I need anything. She remembers stuff that I forget. So, like all the things that she does for me, like even just with appointments, just that one thing, just this one thing, is the exact opposite from how I was raised. I never had that. And so it's weird to be able to receive that from like your wife when really like your parents should have like done those things for you. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if like this is autism or this is like because of anxiety or my parents or I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm trying to say like if my mom was like a mom and like, a nice mom and not one that caused trauma, like, if I was raised in a healthy environment, would I be able to go to appointments on my own today or no? Is it autism or, like, does that have a lot more to do with it? And I think I'm just gonna stop talking because, like, I don't know that this is really where am I at with time? Well, I'm about on my usual time. Um, I'm gonna publish this because I think maybe some stuff in here is relatable. Um, I'm not new to like therapy talk or anything like I read all the books. I've been in like the addictions field. I've worked with therapists. I've worked for therapists. Like it's so fascinating. Um like what getting your needs met as an adult can do for you for your well-being. I don't know how to explain that any better. I probably sound ridiculous. At least I feel like I do because I don't think like I'm still feeling anxious from that appointment, even though Alicia was with me. And like that's another reason why I'm on here today is because like if there's anybody that freaks out about their fucking appointments and like just nothing in my head is clicking right now, like I just feel like I'm kind of talking in circles. And it takes hours for me to come down from the anxiety of being at an appointment, even with my wife there. Um, and I was supposed to have therapy today, but I told Tia, like when she went to schedule me, that I can't have 2 appointments in one day anymore. I don't know if I've said that on here before, but like I realized like I cannot do more than 1 appointment in a day. The thought of going to the doctor and also doing therapy on the same day, it's not like therapy's hard, but it's like that's 2 different appointments, 2 different locations, 2 different kinds of preparation, and I don't have it in me anymore. Like, and I'm okay with that. It is what it is. Uh, so yeah, like if I was still working full time in a traditional job, I don't know. I really don't know where I would be right now. And I still keep trying to like figure out in my head, like, where would I be if I didn't know that I was autistic? Where would I be if like I still had a regular job and had to work with a bunch of assholes every day that like traumatized me and like gave me PTSD? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what this episode's turning into anymore, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end it here. I hope nobody listened to this and that this is just for me to listen to when I'm 80, if I get to live that long. I'm gonna go now. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. I hope you got something out of this. I have a Substack if you want to go over there, and then an Instagram, and I'm on LinkedIn, and but I'm not looking to work on LinkedIn. I'm just posting articles there. I'm on Quora. I'm on Reddit. Um, Come find me, come talk to me. Um, okay. Bye.